Have a taste of your own goddamn medicine.
It's a stupid idea! You're a stupid man! A stupid, stupid man!
Ow! You're hurting me! Stop it! Stop it, Lois!
No! I'm so sick of your crap! Why do you always do these stupid things? And why do you always announce them to me before you do them? Are you trying to get a rise out of me? Are you at me now? Is this what you want?
Oh, no! It's not what I want! It's not what I want! I'm sorry! I'm sorry!
Well, this has been a long time coming, and this is a video that I've been getting a lot of requests for, and I know a lot of you have been eagerly awaiting my response to this. And I did give a kind of sort of response a couple months ago, and I'll address it. And it's finally here. And I'll be honest with all of you, the reason why it took me so long to get around to finally making a video about Spawn versus Ghost Rider is I just really had to unpack my feelings towards Spawn versus Ghost Rider, because I imagined this death battle in so many different ways. And it's always completely different when you actually end up seeing it play out, like with Madara versus Aizen. That one ended up being so much more awful than I ever could have expected it to be. And with this one, I was trying to figure out, is it about what I expected it to be? Is it worse than what I expected it to be? Or is it somewhat better than I expected it to be? Well, I'm going to give my thoughts here, and I'm going to do it in a kind of rant format, because I know you guys love the rant videos, and the Metal Sonic vs. Cell rant video was a huge success. So we're going to just keep it up for now, and this isn't my official review. That I hope to get done later down the line, maybe for a subscriber special or something. But let's not keep you guys waiting any longer. So, my thoughts on Spawn versus Ghost Rider. This is a death battle that I've had a long history with, and just like Michael Myers versus Jason Voorhees, Madara versus Aizen, Ash versus Yugi, this was always one of those matchups that I knew was going to happen, and I kept begging Death Battle, don't do it, but of course I knew this was inevitable. And after seeing the death battle, thinking about it, and debating it with other people, I have come to the conclusion that this death battle is fucking bullshit and should have never freaking happened. Now, let's get the most obvious thing out of the way, because you all know I'm going to say it, bullshit-ass mirror matchup. That is the only reason why anybody ever wanted to see this fight. Oh, well, Spawn and Ghost Rider are basically the same thing, so have them fight. You know, they're both men that were tricked by the devil and became agents of the devil and blah blah blah. Fuck that noise. Seriously, fuck off. As much as I did not care much for Ghost Rider versus Lobo, at least it was something a little bit different. But with Spawn versus Ghost Rider, it's literally just, oh, well, they're both warriors for the devil, so have them fight. They have very similar abilities, so have them fight. And I've said this time and time again with mirror matchups, but mirror matchups suck. They almost never work, except under very special circumstances. And this is garbage because, of course, it just has to be a fucking stomp matchup. And I don't care what any of you fucking Spawn glazers say, because believe me, I'm getting sick and tired of the fucking Spawn glazers, which I will address later in this video. As much as people want to shit all over the Saitama glazers and the Goku glazers and the Naruto glazers, don't get me wrong, they're bad. The fucking Spawn glazers have nothing on them. They make the Goku glazers look sensible in comparison. And again, Spawn glazers, you are wrong. Spawn is not nearly as powerful as you think that he is. I have power scaled Spawn time and time and time and time and time again, and he's nowhere on Ghost Rider's level, period. Something that even Death Battle themselves fucking admitted that, yeah, well, in terms of power, Ghost Rider is infinitely more powerful than Spawn. Well, that should be an open and shut case, because as I've explained time and time again with mirror matchups, when you have characters with very similar abilities, it usually comes down to, well, who has the stat advantage, and obviously Ghost Rider has the stat advantage here. Even the weaker versions of Ghost Rider are at least hyperversal. And another thing that's just bullshit is they didn't even use the strongest version of Ghost Rider. No, they used the second strongest version of Ghost Rider. They didn't use Cosmic Ghost Rider. Why didn't they use Cosmic Ghost Rider? Hell if I fucking know, but if I had to fancy guess, it's because Death Battle knows that they wanted Spawn to win for whatever reason. Maybe they're afraid of the Spawn Glazers, maybe they're huge Spawn fanboys, I don't fucking know. But or another likely one is, well, Death Battle just loves fucking with Marvel, because Death Battle's really been on a Marvel slander spree lately, which I'll get into. But yeah, they don't use Cosmic Ghost Rider. And Cosmic Ghost Rider not only defeated Thanos and wielded the Time Stone at one point, but he also, wields the power fucking Cosmic. Yes, there is a version of Ghost Rider that has the power Cosmic. Why Death Battle ignored that one is a fucking mystery. But if you think that Spawn can defeat Ghost Rider, then you have no clue what you're talking about. And to all the people, and trust me, some of you know who you are, who try to tell me that, oh, well, Ghost Rider lost because Todd McFarlane says that Spawn would beat Ghost Rider. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Oh, well, Todd McFarlane said that Spawn would win, so therefore that makes it so. Oh, really? Did Todd McFarlane get together with Marvel and do a crossover event where they both came together and agreed to have Ghost Rider lose to Spawn? Oh wait, no, that never happened. And guess what? Todd McFarlane, he's not a fucking power scaler. He has no clue what he's talking about, because this asswipe thinks that, oh, the best opponent for Spawn that could actually fight Spawn? Superman. Are you fucking kidding me? Ghost Rider would be able to take both Spawn and Superman with one hand tied behind his back. This is fucking bullshit. Ghost Rider is one of the most powerful Marvel heralds. He is right up there with Hulk. He is that strong. He killed every single member of the Avengers single-handedly, for fuck's sake. He pulled a Batman and killed every single member of the Avengers. All of them. Oh, but no, Spawn wins because, Spawn, he's got better abilities. And he's a better fighter. First off, Death Battle, how the fuck do you quantify that Spawn is a better fighter when you consider that Ghost Rider has been alive for thousands upon thousands of years? Ghost Rider is an angel, the angel of justice. Zarathos and all the other angels predate humanity itself. Ghost Rider is literally older than the first human being. So what the fuck do you mean that, oh, well, Spawn is a better fighter? And the way that they portray Spawn as being so much of a better fighter than Ghost Rider, that he refers to Ghost Rider as sloppy and says that he fights like a bum, get fucked. Anybody that could murder the entire Avengers single-handedly is not a sloppy fighter. Just because Al Simmons was some kind of assassin mercenary that knows martial arts or whatever doesn't fucking mean that he's a better fighter than Ghost Rider. And what does it matter how much better of a fighter he is when Ghost Rider is so much more powerful than him? Spawn wouldn't even be able to pose any threat to him, because Death Battle's reasoning is bullshit, and you better believe I have plans for a debunking video, because this is horseshit. This matchup is horseshit, and sure, I know I said in my first reaction video to this that I thought it wasn't that bad, and I used that clip from the AVGN. But after watching it a couple more times and thinking about it, no, it's garbage. Because Death Battle was so fucking lazy with this death battle. Not only do they use the exact same sprite that they used for Lobo versus Ghost Rider, but they literally repeat the exact same ending, except the only thing that's different is Spawn wins. They literally do the exact same ending where Ghost Rider does the whole thing of, Al Simmons, your sins are innumerable, blah, blah, blah. They do the exact same thing here. They just keep freaking repeating what they did before. They're not doing that much different, at least in regards to the ending here, except the difference is they get the ending wrong. And that's what royally pisses me off about this death battle, is just how much they wanked and glazed Spawn. Even in the little preview, they're like, oh, Spawn is too powerful for death battle. What the fuck are you talking about? At best, Spawn is complex multiversal. That's nothing. That is around the same level as a fucking Sonic character. Spawn is barely on the same level as a Fate character. In fact, I'm pretty sure a Fate character could beat the living shit out of Spawn. Hell, I'll take it a step further. You want to talk about characters that are too strong for death battle? You shouldn't be using Spawn as an example. You should be using Kamijo as an example of a character that's too strong for death battle. Because I plan on addressing this in a video I've been working on called The Difference Between an Overpowered Character and a Broken Character. When you are talking about a character that is too strong for death battle, you have a character like Kamijo from a certain magical index. His power, the Imagine Breaker, is literally the ability to nullify any and all supernatural power. That is what it does. If Spawn tried to fight this guy, the moment any of his chains or any of his magic attacks try touching him, they're going to get nullified, and the moment Toma touches his suit is going to rip into a million pieces and also be nullified. Oh, and the Imagine Breaker is so powerful, Toma can use it to outright take people's powers away. And speaking of taking people's powers away, that's another problem with this bullshit ending. They do the ever unoriginal, oh, I am rubber, you are glue, have a taste of your own damn medicine. And it's just such fucking garbage because, number one, you can't take away Ghost Rider's power. People have already tried to do this. Like Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange literally tried to take away Ghost Rider's power, and it didn't work. He said he couldn't do it. Not only that, but Doctor Strange also said that the unrestricted power of the Ghost Rider is boundless and beyond anything Doctor Strange can do anything about. So if Doctor Strange couldn't take away Ghost Rider's superpower, you expect me to believe that Spawn can? Oh, what? Because he used the penance stare against the Ghost Rider? Even Death Battle said that other Ghost Riders have tried to use the penance stare on him and it didn't work. Now, yes, I am fully aware of the fact that due to comic book writing, the penance stare is not exactly the most consistently written. But having Spawn kill Ghost Rider with his own move, it's lame. It's whack. It reminds me of, like, in wrestling matches, when wrestlers do each other's finishers to each other. It's not cool, it's stupid. You couldn't have come up with a more interesting ending. And here's the main problem with claiming that Spawn can defeat Ghost Rider. When you acknowledge that Ghost Rider is so much more powerful than Spawn, the problem becomes this. And I won't give away too much because I don't want to spoil the debunking video, but here's the main problem. Spawn, even if you want to make the argument that Spawn has more abilities or Spawn has better abilities, they lack the potency necessary to be able to harm the Ghost Rider. Think about it this way. Think about a venomous snake. That is what this is. The venom of the snake in this scenario is not potent enough to kill somebody. For example, you can get stung by certain venomous insects or bitten by certain venomous insects and snakes and live because the venom is not potent enough to kill you. Now, in the case of Spawn versus Ghost Rider, Spawn's powers would not have the potency to kill the Ghost Rider. So it doesn't matter if he has better abilities or not. And most of Spawn's best feats, he needed help. He needed assistance to be able to pull some of these feats off. You can literally even read about it on his Versus Wiki page. It literally says that being able to do some of the things he did, like reset his own existence or something like that, he literally had to either get help from God or get help from beings like the Mother. And that is true of a lot of Spawn's really good feats. Even killing Malbolgia. He was only able to kill Malbolgia because he had a magical bullshit sword. That was the only reason he was able to kill Malbolgia. It wasn't because, oh, he's so much more powerful than them. And the main thing to take away is this idea that, oh, well, Ghost Rider just can't kill Spawn. Ghost Rider has access to heavenly and or angelic powers. That is absolutely something that can and will kill Spawn. If you look at Spawn's weaknesses, it says that the divine and the heavenly are his weaknesses and can kill him. You can also kill him with decapitation as well. If you cut his head off, game over, that's it. Not to mention, if he uses too much of his necroplasm power, then he also dies and goes back to hell. And it's like, people want to tell me that, oh, well, the fight's cool. It's well animated. It's so peak. Okay, well animated by what standards? Because by my standards, this is well animated by sprite animation standards. The only part of the fight that really kind of stood out to me was at the end when Ghost Rider was using his penance stare on Spawn, and you have this highly detailed hand-drawn thing. That looked really cool. I also really liked the ending where you see different comic book panels depicting the sins of the Ghost Rider. I thought that was kind of cool. But other than that, it's mostly just sprite garbage. And sure, to be fair, it's good sprite animation, but sprite animation nonetheless. And I feel that this fight just wasn't as good as it could have been, because there are just so many moments of this fight where something happens for like 2 seconds that's kind of cool, and then it's gone. For example, Ghost Rider pulls out his Hellfire shotgun. Ooh, that's kind of cool, and then he just immediately loses it. Oh, Ghost Rider possesses a giant semi-truck to turn it into a Hellfire semi-truck, and then 5 seconds later, that's gone too. And all Ghost Rider really does is just swing his chain around a little bit, throw some fire, and do some angel energy blasts, and that's it. Even Spawn really doesn't do much. For as much as Death Battle wants to say, like, oh, Spawn has all these abilities, he barely uses any of them, so why even bother mentioning them? This whole Death Battle just did not feel well thought out. And sure, there's some good dialogue here, such as the vestiges of the holy do not disguise your wickedness or whatever. That's kind of cool. And there's other kind of neat lines, such as the beginning and all that stuff. But there's also some really cringe lines here, like the whole, oh, welcome to hell, motherfucker. Wow. How long do you think Death Battle spent coming up with that one? And then you have the whole, oh, have a taste of your own damn medicine. And it's just like, bro, really? Come on. I get it. It's Spawn versus Ghost Rider. You don't have to constantly beat us over the head with the fact that they're from hell, or using like, oh, I'ma say gosh dang it because I'm so edgy. Look at me, I'm blaspheming God. Look how edgy I am. And sure, I will give some credit to where it's due. Yes, Ghost Rider and Spawn do behave as they should, sort of. Spawn behaves as he should, and the voice acting with Spawn is pretty cool. Ghost Rider somewhat behaves how he should, but it's not quite there, because keep in mind, Ghost Rider is supposed to be an angel that was driven to insanity, and whenever he's around evil, he's basically a crackhead. And I don't get much of that here. outside of like a kind of few seconds of Ghost Rider having a little bit of a laugh, that's really it. Would it have killed you, Death Battle, to just watch Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance before writing this episode to use as inspiration? Say what you want about Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. I personally like the movie, but one thing nobody can deny is that the depiction of Ghost Rider in that movie is perfect. That is exactly how Ghost Rider should be. And Death Battle couldn't even give me 50% that. Yeah, sure, this isn't Madara versus Aizen level bad, where they have Aizen act completely differently to how he's supposed to act. Ghost Rider does somewhat act how he should, which is all well and good, but it does not forgive all the other elements of this Death Battle that completely and utterly fucking suck. Seriously, animation-wise, compare this to Bowser versus Eggman, or Sauron versus the Lich King, and tell me with a straight face that this is a peak Death Battle, because I keep seeing people say, oh, Ghost Rider vs. Spawn, it's so peak. No, it's not. It's like maybe a 6 or 7 out of 10 at best. And that's if I'm being fucking generous about it. I would probably score it a whole heck of a lot lower because of Death Battle's laziness and cheapness in certain areas. Seriously, when Death Battle has all these resources to make all these amazing 3D fights and stuff like Bowser versus Eggman, why do we still have to be subjected to this sprite stuff? And I'm not saying that there's no place for sprite animation, but when Death Battle uses it just to cut corners, it's infuriating when you know that they can do so much more. And this is not on the same level as Bowser versus Eggman. It's not. There are people making hour-long retrospectives of Bowser versus Eggman. That's how fucking big that Death Battle was. Ain't nobody doing that for Spawn versus Ghost Rider because it's just a mediocre mid-Death Battle at the best of times. At the worst of times, it's just lazy garbage, and it's everything I've always said about why this Death Battle sucks. But what really infuriates me about this Death Battle is all the Ghost Rider slander that I've been seeing ever since it happened. Ever since this Death Battle debuted, I've been having to listen to people slander Ghost Rider and say Ghost Rider's a fraud. Ghost Rider's not that powerful, even though he's one of the most powerful Marvel characters in Marvel lore. Hell, those of you that remember the live stream that I did knows that Nemesis, a guy that I also have on my hit list, he has been slandering the fuck out of Ghost Rider, saying that, oh, well, Ghost Rider lost to Blade, what a fraud. Ghost Rider lost to Spawn, as if that's fucking Ghost Rider's fault that he lost to Spawn, and not Death Battle's fault for writing him to lose when he otherwise shouldn't have. And Ghost Rider, yes, he is my all-time favorite superhero. So there is a certain amount of bias there. But I am capable of putting my bias aside. If it was actually legit that Spawn could defeat Ghost Rider, I could have lived with that. But that's not the case here. Ghost Rider should have won. And now people think that they could just slander my favorite superhero. And I'm not going to stand for that. Ghost Rider is one of the most powerful characters in fiction, and Ghost Rider can fuck up your favorite universe, I guarantee it. DBZ, Ghost Rider would fuck all of you up. Naruto, Ghost Rider solos that universe as well. I can keep going. And seeing people slander Ghost Rider just infuriates me. This is why I get irritated when Death Battle either misscales a character or lies about a character. And I have proven before, Death Battle will be disingenuous. They will lie to get a certain outcome. See Buffy versus Blade. It's no different here. And no amount of pretty animation or music is going to change that fact. Now, if there's one person I will give credit to, one person that really went above and beyond expectations, it is Brandon Yates with the song Hell's Angels, which is an absolute banger that was put on my top 10 best death battle soundtracks. It is amazing, and if I'm being honest, the song is way better than the death battle actually deserves. So I will give points to Brandon Yates. The music was fucking phenomenal and made my jaw drop. And maybe that's one of the reasons why when I first watched this death battle, I thought it wasn't that bad because of that banging soundtrack. But just because there are a few moments in this that I like and there's some cool music doesn't change the way I feel about this death battle, about this matchup. I still think it's garbage. I still think Ghost Rider deserves better, and I'm tired of people using this as evidence to continue to glaze Spawn. Stop glazing Spawn, because if y'all don't stop glazing Spawn, what's going to happen is, for those of you who remember back in the day, I made 2 videos. One was a list of the top 10 characters that could easily kill Goku, and then another was the top 10 characters that could easily kill Superman. And if you keep it up, Spawn Glazers, I will happily make a top 10 list of 10 characters that could easily kill Spawn. Hell, I'll do you one better. I will find a list of 20 characters that can kill Spawn. Don't think I can do it? Fucking try me, Spawn Glazers, because your constant dick riding for Spawn is bullshit. Ghost Rider would have won. And in so many ways, this death battle was almost everything I expected it to be. But that's just for now, you know? I definitely wanted to get some kind of video out there because I know you guys have been curious about my thoughts. And like I said, I have plans for more videos. I know I never got to make a prediction video, and I kind of regret that I never got to do that. But I will review this death battle when the time comes, and I have plans for a debunking as well. I know I don't get to make as many debunkings as I would like, and those videos will come in time. And this is just one of those death battles that is very personal to me, like Madara versus Aizen. Because again, it's my favorite superhero, and I'm not going to stand for people slandering my favorite superhero, especially because for whatever reason, Ghost Rider can never get any respect, despite being one of the coolest superheroes of all time. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this kind of more unbridled rant of me just kind of venting how I feel about this death battle. Hopefully it's what you were expecting, and let me know what you think of Spawn versus Ghost Rider, because I have had so many discussions with people about this death battle. And please, feel free to try to explain to me why this death battle is good. Please, because I really do want to like this death battle, because I want Ghost Rider to have a good death battle episode. I don't want him to be a part of a bad death battle episode, because I love Ghost Rider, and I secretly wanted Death Battle to prove me wrong, and I just don't think that they did. But also, if you're one of those Spawn Glazers, please feel free to try to debate me on Ghost Rider, because I will happily explain to you why Ghost Rider destroys Spawn. But that's just kind of my thoughts. I don't want this video getting any longer. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what other death battles you would like me to talk about, or other videos you would like me to make. I know I've been getting a lot of requests for Smash Bracket, and I plan on getting a review of that up soon. But just leave your thoughts down below, and I will see you guys around next time.
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Sometimes I feel a voice in my